We all have forgotten about Brandon Curry lately. Many people forget that Brandon was the Arnold Classic champion last year. It's true he was not at his best at that show, but you know when Brandon was at his best? At the 2019 Arnold Classic. That version of Brandon is his best shape of all time. Today we are comparing that Brandon Curry to our current Arnold Classic champion Samson Dauda. Brandon kinda fell from everyone's radar when it comes to Mr. Olympia favorites this year, but if Brandon manages to replicate this physique from 2019, it's trouble for everybody, and I mean everybody. Let's get to this comparison and see what I mean, guys. Front double biceps. Samson is indeed the bigger man, everybody knows that. He also has the more complete lower body, but upper body wise, Brandon crushes Samson Dauda. Such a beautiful physique from Brandon. He's more round, he also has the better V-taper and especially the better arms. Now when it comes to Brandon Curry, there's always the discussion about his lower body, and yes, he loses lower body to Samson here, but here at the 2019 Arnold Classic, his quads look dry and separated and they flow quite well with his impressive upper body. In my opinion, Brandon takes this first pose. Front lat spread, and look at that flow of Brandon Curry in this pose. He's got that crazy taper, he also looks round and full through the chest, arms, shoulders, all of that somehow don't overpower his lats, which look very good also. Samson looks great in his own right, but this is a Brandon Curry pose without a doubt. Side chest pose, and Brandon becomes even more dangerous from the side. His lower body becomes a strong point now, and combined with his incredible fullness upstairs, makes him pretty unbeatable here. Again, Samson looks great. Samson looked great in all poses up until this point. And this is one of his best assets. He looks great in all poses. However, at least until now, Brandon looks even greater in all poses. Such an underrated physique is this Brandon Curry version. Back double biceps, and if you ever doubted Brandon Curry, maybe it's time to reconsider. Such a shame that his lower body was not even average, because by his upper body standards he could be considered one of the all-time greats. Just look at that back. He's got crazy muscle bellies, reminiscent of Phil Heath, great insertions, he's full, he's also dry. Upper body wise, he crushes Samson Dauda here. And we can see that lower body, even though Samson looks better, it's not decisive. Hell, Brandon even looks more detailed through the glutes and hams, but he gives up too much size, especially through the calves. However, I would still give this pose to Brandon for the overall package. Back lat spread, and it is obvious that Brandon's got the superior back package. He is just so much thicker through the back, and he's also wider than Samson. Now, if you wanna argue about Samson winning downstairs, go ahead, but in my opinion, this is another Brandon Curry pose. Side triceps, and from the side, Brandon is untouchable. Let's see what we have here. Brandon is fuller, he's also drier, he's got the better triceps and the better side leg. In spite of Samson's great display, Brandon just has a better response to everything Samson's got. Abs and thighs, and look at that display from Brandon Curry. Damn, I sound like a Brandon fanboy now, but how can we deny him here? Now it's true that we cannot deny Samson neither. Samson's got a great taper too, his abs don't look as good as Brandon's, but his thighs definitely are better. Now I am going to give this pose to Samson because it is close and it is the only pose he'll get in this comparison. Because next is the most muscular pose, and Brandon is not losing this one. Brandon was doing battle with the likes of Phil Heath in this pose even before 2019 or 2020. He's almost as full as Phil, but wider. This is a deadly combination. Again, Samson looks great just like in all the other poses, but falls short again against this awesome version of Brandon Curry. This was a massacre from the 2019 Arnold Classic and Mr. Olympia winner for that matter. In Samson's defense, he did pretty well in all the poses but eventually fell short for the most part of this comparison. Also, Samson has a lot of more room to improve. He definitely has the potential to match or maybe even surpass this level of greatness Brandon showed in 2019. As for this comparison, Brandon was a little too much for Samson Dauda. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. Like and subscribe to support the channel. Thank you and see you next time.